All right, welcome to day 2 of the 60-day bookkeeper mini course. And we're going to talk about the good stuff today and go over how much can you earn as a bookkeeper. So let's talk about specifically what you will learn today. I'm going to show you how this one type of client can bring in $5K or more per month. I'm going to show you how to make high margins offering catch-up and ongoing services for easy clients. And then I'm going to show you the math to replacing your income from your 9 to 5 with bookkeeping clients. So what I want to start with here is a conversation about easy versus hard. So this is a photo of me and my mom and my big sister back in the day. And growing up, I remember when I was about to get into trouble, my mom would say, "Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?" And even as a child, I always knew the correct answer was the easy way, right? But somewhere along the way, as we get older, that rhetoric starts to switch. We start to be told that the easy way is the lazy way, or you need to choose the path less traveled, or nothing worth having ever comes easy. And so what I see is that many bookkeeping firms are taking that information, and that's how they're running their business as well. So I even went to an accounting conference in Boston a couple of years ago, and this consistent message throughout this whole conference was that you needed to find these high-paying clients and charge more for your services and offer these higher-level services. And all of these were basically telling us to stay away from easy or low-ticket clients. And so this is back when I still worked at a job that I didn't love, right? But I was working for a bookkeeping firm, and we implemented what they were telling us, right? So we decided as soon as we got back from the conference, we are not taking on any clients for less than $600 per month, which was an arbitrary number that we picked up at the conference. So the next week after we set this policy, an older gentleman walks into our office. He was passing by, he saw the sign, and he needed a bookkeeper for his business. He had a straightforward service-based business and needed monthly bookkeeping, so just someone to enter the transactions, reconcile accounts, and send him his monthly reports. And he was willing to pay $300 per month for his bookkeeping. And we turned him away because we were only accepting clients at $600 or more per month. So the easy client would have taken me about 2 hours per month at $300 per month. So that's $150 per hour margin that we would have made on that client. The next client who walks in was not so easy. So the next client that we signed up did meet the $600 threshold, but they were a monster of a client. They were needy and demanding. They had a high volume of transactions to be entered. They were rude to the staff in their emails. They wanted us to go far above and beyond the scope of the original agreement at no extra charge, because at $600 per month, they felt that they were paying a lot and should be getting a lot. So the hard client required 10 plus hours per month for that $600. That's a margin of just $60 per hour. So I ask you, would you rather have a high fee or a high margin? And the obvious answer to me is margin. And the great thing is that many CPAs will turn away these lower monthly fee clients, which means that they will be happy to refer them to you. So for me, I could work with 10 easy clients and never burn out. But man, one difficult client is enough to make me reconsider what I'm doing, right? So I have a very strict rule that I want to work with easy clients that I can generate a high margin on. So let's talk about what makes an easy client. This is my easy client criteria checklist. I like to work with service-based businesses, which means that they don't typically have inventory or sales tax, and they may or may not have payroll. But again, it's not usually too complicated. I personally hate dealing with inventory, so I just don't. They have hourly rates that they charge for their services that are typically 2 to 3 times what I'm going to quote them for bookkeeping. Now, granted, I'm not actually quoting hourly rates to anyone. I always do a fixed proposal, but in their head, they have an idea of how many hours it is, and they might break it down mentally to an hourly rate. And it's not necessarily correct, right? Because we can do things a lot faster than our clients can. So anyways, my goal is to find someone. So if I charge, if if I was charging $40 per hour for bookkeeping, then they should be charging $80 to $120 per hour or $150 per hour for their services. I like their major pain points to be that they are too busy and that they want to understand their numbers better. Those are great clients for me. I want to find people who are already looking for a virtual bookkeeper and have no interest in doing it themselves. I want to find clients who need recurring services and they're going to sign that ACH form so I can take payment up front. And they need to be tech savvy. So the key here is that I have no interest in breaking their existing belief systems and rebuilding. And what I mean by that is I will not work with someone who is on another accounting software and loves it and doesn't want to switch. It is not worth my time to try to tell them why they need to switch from that software to another software, or tell them why they need to switch from having a bookkeeper in office to remote. I don't work with those people. I only want to have to convince them of one thing, and that thing is to choose me over any other bookkeeper that they might be considering. So everything else should already be in line. That's part of the easy client criteria. And there are tons of easy clients out there that you can get results for. So here are some ideas for you of easy niches that you could focus on. And again, we talked in the last lesson about looking at your previous experience. So for me, I have property managers on here as a list of easy niches. And part of that is because usually what I'm working with is, one person owns a business, they own a few properties, they rent them or they flip them, or they could be long-term rentals, vacation rentals. And so for me, that's an easy niche for me to target because I own 2 rental properties. So I'm able to speak to them property manager to property manager and then also do their bookkeeping. And so that made it really easy for me to find those clients. Every category that's on here, by the way, is someone that I've worked with. So HVAC, plumbing, and contractors, they all need job costing, so that makes it pretty straightforward. Usually they need help with their processes and figuring out how they should be handling their bookkeeping, usually looking for monthly updating and reconciling, and then for some help understanding their numbers. Dentists, chiropractors, private practice physicians, therapists, counselors, those are all great niches. Typically what they're looking for, high-level bookkeeping in QuickBooks Online. They might be doing medical billing and managing their patient collectibles and insurance receivables and everything in a completely different system. So we just use QuickBooks Online for their high-level reporting for them to get ready for their tax return. Also, people who have high hourly rates, right? Anyone in the medical field should be good. Contractors typically have high hourly rates. If we're looking at, so tutors can have really high hourly rates. Attorneys, web designers, IT providers, digital marketers, and marketing agencies. And the key to that, the reason why we care what they charge their clients, is because the more they charge their clients, the more they value an hour of their time, means that as long as you're charging them less for that hour that you're saving them, they've already made a positive return on their investment. So hopefully that makes sense, right? We want them to instantly feel like they've made money by hiring us. So if I am talking to a new prospective client, one of the things that I'll ask them is, hey, how many hours per month are you or your current bookkeeper spending on bookkeeping? So if I know how many hours per month they're spending, then I want to know, okay, what is an hour of your time worth? Could you be spending that time bringing on a new client? How many dollars would that translate to in revenue for your business? Can you spend that time doing the client work? So what's your billable hours look like? So as long as what we're charging them is less than what they're turning around and making, we are a no-brainer decision to bring on board. So let's talk about what you can charge, and we're going to break this into 2 different things. We can charge a certain rate for projects and then a certain rate for ongoing bookkeeping. So I want to give you some ideas about ongoing bookkeeping rates. So this is my Upwork profile. Just took a snip of this for you. And I have my profile posted at $55 per hour, even though I don't typically do hourly bookkeeping for anybody. So all of my clients are actually on a fixed proposal, and typically my margins are much higher than $55 per hour. But even by posting them at $55 an hour, people are more than willing to reach out to me, hire me, accept those rates. As you can see, I've done very well on Upwork, earned over $100,000 on the platform. And so in case if you're thinking, well, that's great for you, you're a CPA and you've got experience, what about people who don't have those qualifications? So here are two women's profiles that I just grabbed off of Upwork. I specifically looked for someone who didn't have any college listed, any certificates, anything like that. And so these women have these profiles, they're charging $50 per hour, and clearly they're getting it because you can see 90K plus earned, 100K plus earned. If you do have certifications and you're thinking, well, can I charge more than that? Absolutely. So here are a couple of people who have higher level experience listed on their profiles, and you can see they're charging $75, $100 per hour. And again, have earned over $100,000 on the platform, which tells you that it's absolutely possible to be charging these rates for these services. You might be thinking, okay, well, that's great. If these clients are so easy though, and their bookkeeping is so straightforward that anyone can do it, why don't they just do it themselves? Why would they pay me to be their bookkeeper? And the answer is because they don't want to DIY it. They understand that their time is better spent running their business. So as long as they can make more for every hour you save them doing their bookkeeping, then that is a positive return on their investment. They have no logical choice but to hire you to do that. So an ideal easy client will have some catch-up work plus ongoing monthly bookkeeping. Like my favorite is to find someone who they're so busy, again, part of the easy client criteria, that they're a few months or a year behind on their bookkeeping and they want to not get in that situation in the future, so they want me to do their ongoing monthly bookkeeping. So let's talk about what you can make for an average project. And again, for an easy client, I'm talking about clients who we don't have inventory, we don't have sales tax, we don't have a bunch of messy things to clean up. An average catch-up project might be $750 for me. And the maximum amount of hours that I would probably spend on a project at that rate is 10. So then after we do the catch-up project, I also give them a proposal for their ongoing monthly, and my average monthly client is $150 per month. And to earn that $150 per month, I spend a maximum of 2 hours. So again, I'm making sure that I always have a $75 per hour margin on my services. All right, so at those margins, let's talk about how many clients would it take if you wanted to replace your income. So let's say you wanted to make $50,000 per year. Well, at those prices with a $750 catch-up and then $150 per month ongoing, it would take you about 20 easy clients to replace an annual income of $50,000. And I'm just talking about easy clients as you're just starting out, because we don't want to learn on hard clients, right? We don't want to make those kinds of mistakes and burn ourselves out or put ourselves in a situation that we aren't prepared to handle. So as you get more confident, you can take on bigger clients and raise your prices to keep the client load down. But 20 clients is actually very manageable when they're only, a couple hours each per month. So how quickly could you get there? How quickly could you get to replacing that income? For me, I had already billed $50,000 in services by July of 2018. And that's just a reminder that I had only quit my 9-to-5 in March. So January, February, I'm working full-time for someone else doing this on the side. But by July, I had already billed $50,000. And my costs are extremely low because this is a service-based business. I need my laptop, I need a few subscriptions. But for the most part, I chose to have an admin assistant to help me, but you don't have to do that. So again, the margins are really, really high, and that made it really easy to replace my income. And if you're wondering, okay, well, that's great, but let's see it by, how many clients were you able to add by month? So here are the new clients that I added each month. Now, some of these clients were just projects, and some of them were the ideal client where we had a project and then ongoing monthly services. So when I really wanted to leave my job, see February of 18 there, we have a huge spike, right? I added 14 new clients in 1 month, and I did it again in April. But on average, if I'm trying to grow my business, I typically would bring on 3 to 5 new clients. And then if I'm just maintaining my business, sometimes they'll just want a project. Sometimes they will sell their business or close their business. So to maintain the current volume, I will add anywhere from 0 to 2 new clients per month. So I hope that this helped convey to you, easy clients will allow you to quickly scale your business and can generate an income to replace your 9-to-5. So easy clients are the one type of client that you need to focus on to bring in 5K or more per month. Now, this is particularly geared towards new bookkeepers. So if you don't have a lot of experience, you're just starting out, it makes sense to start with the easy clients, offering basic services as you learn, and then later you can take on higher level clients with bigger needs and bigger budgets as you develop that confidence. I've also shown you how to make high margins by offering catch-up and ongoing services for easy clients, and the math to replacing your income from your 9 to 5 with bookkeeping clients. So I hope today that you have a good understanding of exactly what you can make as a bookkeeper. Now, if you're just starting out, you might start out with lower hourly rates until you get some, if you're using Upwork, for example, until you get some reviews on your profile and establish some credibility. So when I first started on Upwork, I think I posted my rate at the same rate I was making in my job, which was $25 per hour for that first or second client. Then I quickly raised it to 35 and then 55 right away. So within, I think it was 3 or 4 months, I was already up to the $55 an hour rate. Now, I don't raise it higher than that on the profile because I don't want to get filtered out of search results, even if my true margin is higher than that when I'm working with clients. So just to give you an idea of what that could look like, if you're brand new, you have no experience, you're going to start out charging a little bit lower rate and then work your way up as you take on more clients, gain more confidence, and really establish yourself in your niches. So that's today's lesson. Let's talk about what's coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're going to start digging into some of the bookkeeping basics. I'm going to show you the easiest way to understand debits and credits, how to always know which accounts to use and when you're recording transactions, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of the financial statement. So stay tuned. I will check your email. I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you have any questions, be sure to post those in the Bookkeep Anywhere Facebook group, and I'd be happy to answer those.